Hi everyone, my name is Nathan. I'm the drummer from the band Resolve. We're a band from Lyon, France, and you're listening to the Heavy Podcast Music.
That's the one.
That's the name, right?
That's the one, brother. Thanks for joining us tonight, Nathan.
Yeah. Thank you.
No worries at all. So, Resolve released your second album, Human, only last Friday, mate. Like, I know it hasn't been out long, but how's the early reception been for it?
It's been like mixed, but mixed in only, I would say, good feedbacks. Like some people like the fact that we try to explore different genre, different horizons musically. Also, some people will find what makes them happy in the album, but like maybe only in a few songs. But at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. If we release songs that you like, well then, whether you like the entire album or not, if you're happy with some of the songs we wrote, it means we did our job.
Yeah, very good. So, can you tell us a bit more about the album from a musical point of view, mate, and what you were going for with it?
So we were trying to. It's really hard to explain. Like we're trying to speak to as much people as we can with our music, since it has always been since the beginning. We've always listened to many different styles of music, and we really wanted to implement that in the music we make. And this album is actually no different, just us trying to cover as many styles that we like while retaining a heavy sound. I wouldn't say metal sound because that's not the main idea of the album. It's not like a metal album. It's a heavy band album, trying to showcase everything they can do, while still showing everybody how heavy we can be, but also how soft we can be. It's like the most sincere music we wrote since we started this band. And I mean, I know a lot of people say that about their album, but we really just wanted to do everything we wanted and not impose us any limits or any kind.
Yeah. And you released 5 singles all up. So you released In Stone, Older Days, New Colors, Death Awaits, and Humans.
Yeah.
Just say that's all someone has heard of Resolve's music. Would you say that they're a good representation of the whole album?
I would say some of the track that represents the most the album are probably Human and New Colors, and maybe Older Days, sonically speaking. In terms of styles, In Stone is typically the kind of songs that I think will always figure on any of the album we release, because as I said, we like to get soft at sometimes, and this is the kind of stuff that we know we're good at. And yeah, I would say In Stone, New Colors, and Human, probably some of the most representative of the whole album. I would say the whole album style.
And one of those singles, Older Days, features guest vocals from 1056 and Paleface Swiss. So it's a season band exploring elements of trap and hip hop, mate. Like, that's a bit of a departure. Like, what made you go down that direction?
Well, there's many reasons to that. First of all, like we wanted to explore again, and the rap genre isn't something we have tried before in the past. So we wanted that kind of challenge, because a few challenges here and there help us actually like entertain us during the writing of the albums. It actually it's a good way to give you new ideas, trying to go against your will and trying sometimes to force you to write something different. And this was one of those songs, but we also felt like it sounded like bands we've been touring with, or like we could tell this song was wrote because we were influenced by bands we toured with, such as bands like 1056 or even Paleface. We played a few shows with them, and as soon as the song was ready to go, we were like, we should have a featuring on this one. But unfortunately, we didn't have the time to do it before we delivered the album. So that's why you got actually our own version of All the Days on the album, and the featuring version with Zelly and Aaron, both from Paleface and 1056, which was released later. And we actually decided to keep it as a standalone single in a way. We wanted the album to be our album. Yep. And also this title, while really fitting their voice, was done primarily without them. So we still wanted to have the original songs to have the exposure it deserved. But yeah, this felt like an evidence asking them to do featuring on this one, because we felt like their voice would match so well, and they actually took the liberty to try a few lyrics change here and there so that it can match their style and add a few lines. It was a great experience overall.
And I recently had the pleasure of reviewing Human Made, and I absolutely loved it. Like, you guys have got a style of all of your own. There's timing and tempo changes galore in there. Like, it's all over the shop, but it works. Like, where did your sound actually come from?
What sorry comes from?
So your sound, like all that blending of styles.
Uh, well, from the four of us listening to very different style. I mean, like, I know Antonin is a lot into classic music. Anthony and Rubin both really like progressive stuff. I'm more into I wouldn't say hip hop, but R&B, pop music, and I mean, all of us listens to metal, and especially metalcore. But it's not like, it's not the kind of it's not necessarily, I would say, the bands we grew up watching, because it wasn't a thing by then, and we actually grew up watching more general artists, like you know, the bands everybody knows, like Metallica, Nirvana, and I mean, we don't stop to anything that isn't metal. I feel there's talent everywhere, and you should try and to take inspiration from anyone from everywhere. If it just makes you feel something, it means that you like it, and it's just the way it goes. You should not write metal and only listen to metal album. If you do that, you're not gonna make the sound evolve, and even you as an artist will probably like be bored really quick. Yeah. This is something we can help. We like to just try to add many things, because we feel metal should have more elements of everything. It's kind of a music that it's still, again, too much stuck to its own code, and we kind of want to shake it up a bit.
So, as we say, mate, like, you've got so much going on musically, pretty much in every song, but how difficult is it to sort of combine all of those styles and still have the song cohesive at the end of the day? Like, is it hard to sort of go in so many directions,
well,
bring it back together?
Well, first of all, one thing that helps a lot is the mix, which was done by Robin, that you should have originally on the podcast.
Huh?
So yeah, he engineered the whole album, and he mixed it by himself. So that makes a big part of our sound, actually, because we're all together where the album is produced from start to finish, which isn't something you can always have from an external producer. So this is one thing that really defines the sound we have, is already the mix. And I would say what I felt was the main way to connect every song with each other, sorry about that, was the guitar work. Honestly, like some riffs are simpler, but even though we would have like a metal song going on after a soft song, even though it's metal, it's not going to be crazy technical or anything. Like, whereas it's a soft song or a metal song, or in between, we try to add the kind of same riffs to have the kind of same ambience. You can hear a lot of synth ambience in the whole album. Yeah, there's a lot of that actually fuse the whole thing together really well. All the songs blend together because of that, because it's mainly coming from the same instruments. Whereas it's a soft song or metal songs, you're gonna hear the same scenes or some callbacks from other songs. And I feel like this is a way to keep track of your style while trying to just write as much as you can without going crazy and in too much direction at once.
So is Human like a concept album of sorts, or is it based around a central theme of the human spirit, I guess?
Well, it's kind of like our previous album. We kind of like the idea of concept album, but we feel it would too much reduce the choices and the possibility that you can make in terms of lyric, and we feel like it would restrain us if we were to do that. So that's why we like to have like a concept, but maybe in one or two song, a concept that where you could say both of the songs speaks of the same thing, but we don't want to like add it to the whole album. We still want songs that speaks for themselves. And yeah, I would say just like the previous album, which had a few songs connected to each other, which were Emerald Skies and Between Me and the Machine, which was the title track of our previous album. This album, I would say, have Human and New Colors connected together. But apart from that, the songs have some common themes, but I wouldn't say it's a concept album, or the band is a concept band because we always speak about the same 2 or 3 subjects most of the time. There's some new idea that comes in, but there's a few things we want to speak about, and most of the time, from one album to the other, our perception of it have changed, but it's still the same issues we're talking about. We have plenty of those, but we're not trying to find like a new purpose in every album, to find a new sense or anything. We still feel like we have many things to tell with what we already spoke about. And it's also very interesting to see the point of view from a band from one album to the other on the same exact, I would say the same exact topics, like as how did they grow as a band or as people in general, how do they feel now regarding those feelings they were feeling 2 years ago. It's like we're talking about us pretty much.
Yeah.
And what it is to be human at the core and what defines your humanity, which is why this album is like really, I would say, the most honest form of Resolve yet.
So how would you say that the Human differs musically to your debut album Between Me and the Machine?
I would say I feel like it's the same thing we wanted to do with Between Me and the Machine, but I would say like people that don't usually listen to metal, we say that a lot, would actually like, I think, our music, or at least 1 or 2 songs. And I don't feel this album is actually different in any way. Like, I know people's mother or grandmother might like in stone, and like someone's son is going to go crazy in his room listening to Bloodlust because that's the main idea of the song. But no, I think we just went even further with this idea, like we want the heavy scene to like us. But the thing is, I would like to play music for everybody, and so does everyone else in the band. Like, we want to be at festivals that aren't stick to metal or anything, we want to, like, if you want to grow as an artist, you also need to grow your community. But if you stay in one really tiny area of the music industry, you're not going to get like as far as you wished. And we want to go as far as we can. And we knew since the start that it was something that had us to be eclectic in every way we could, write music that could make you headbang, but also make you cry, and take your fun out with the light torch and just sing with us. We like everything in music, and I feel this is the main thing you can feel while listening to Human.
And you guys are just about to head off and start a tour of France, I think, in about 9 days' time, mate. It's a bit of a big run of shows coming up.
Yeah, we have our longest set of songs yet. We're playing in 1 hour and 10 minutes. We're pretty much playing the overall album Human live. Yeah, I can honestly say that. It's like we haven't ever played as much songs as we're doing now, and I think if you like the album, we're gonna play a lot of songs from the new album, and it's actually, yeah, it feels great. We've been rehearsing like crazy. We've been hard at work in production and light show techniques, everything. We try to improve constantly, and this time it's not going to be different. It's actually going to be our biggest French headline shows ever, until the next one, actually. But yeah, the tour starts on September 30th, and we're going to be pretty much everywhere in France for the next coming months, because we're touring we're playing shows every Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. So it's going to be a very buzz.
Great. Cool. All right, Nathan. Well, thanks very much for your time tonight, mate. It's been a pleasure. The album Human is out now, and if you haven't got your hands on a copy, I suggest you have a listen really quick because she's an absolute cracker, mate. So thanks for your time, bro.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Wings have turned to ashes.